Fabrizio Romano dropped a bombshell about the future of one of Arsenal's superstars amid intense rumors of a possible transfer to PSG. Meanwhile, the club's technical director, Edu Gaspar, is preparing a mega £85 million offer to bring in a star dissatisfied with his current club. Amid all this movement, Arsenal fans are all saying the same thing about Benjamin Sesko's recent behavior, which seems to have received a clear message from Edu. Stay with me until the end of the video to check out the latest Arsenal news straight from the Emirates Stadium. But before that, if you're as passionate about Arsenal as we are, don't waste any time and subscribe to our channel right now to stay updated on everything happening with the greatest team in the Premier League. And without further ado, let's dive into today's top news. William Saliba could easily be called Arsenal's most crucial player right now. The French defender had to bide his time, spending 3 long years away from the Gunners before finally making his debut. It must have been a tough wait, probably filled with frustration, but when he did get his chance, he came out the other side even stronger than anyone expected. Since the 2022-23 season kicked off, Saliba has been a fixture in Arsenal's starting lineup, one of the first names Mikel Arteta puts on the team sheet. Some might say he's the best defender in the Premier League, and others might argue he's one of the top in Europe too. Unsurprisingly, his rise hasn't gone unnoticed. Other clubs are showing interest, and transfer expert Fabrizio Romano recently shed some light on what's going on with Saliba's future. If Saliba ever hits the transfer market, we have no doubt that every major club across the globe will be lining up to snag him. A lot of folks already see the Frenchman as the top center back in the game, and what's wild is that he's only 23. The potential for him to get even better in the next few years is huge, and you can bet there will be some serious transfer bids from the biggest clubs out there sooner or later. Rumor has it that both Real Madrid and Paris Saint-Germain are eyeing Saliba with keen interest, which is definitely a cause for concern if you're an Arsenal supporter. On a brighter note for Gooners, Romano has shared some reassuring news. The journalist confirmed that there's nothing happening between Saliba and PSG, or any other club for that matter. The young defender is content at Arsenal and hasn't had any discussions with other teams. In his daily briefing, Romano stated, even though William Saliba is always going to be admired for his incredible talent, there's really nothing to back up the rumors about Paris Saint-Germain making a big offer for him right now. There hasn't been any contact from PSG, no proposals, and definitely no talks. Saliba is a key player for Arsenal, so I can't see him having anything to think about in the near future. He's really happy at Arsenal, and there's nothing in the works with any club. No clue where all these PSG stories are coming from. Arsenal simply can't afford to lose Saliba. There's nobody else in football who can fill his shoes. The Frenchman is not just good with the ball at his feet, he's a beast in the air and genuinely loves defending. He hardly ever loses a one-on-one duel and is consistently reliable, even when the going gets tough. To make sure Saliba stays put, Arsenal needs to focus on 2 key things. New contract. Saliba is set to enter the final 2 years of his contract in 2025, so it's crucial for Arsenal to lock him down with a new deal before that deadline hits. Offering him a salary bump to reflect his performances could really help convince him to stay. Win trophies. Let's be real, every top player wants to lift silverware to stay satisfied, and Saliba is no exception. Arsenal can't just aim to compete with Manchester City, they need to actually outdo them when it comes to winning trophies. If they don't, you can bet that Real Madrid would be a tempting next step for him. We're not sure what Edu Gaspar has in mind, but he should definitely kick off negotiations with Saliba and his agents ASAP. They need to get that new contract sorted out before this season wraps up. Edu Gaspar is preparing a mega £85 million offer to bring in a star dissatisfied with his current club. Edu Gaspar and Mikel Arteta might already need to start planning for the summer transfer window in 2025 at Arsenal. This summer, the Gunners brought in 5 new players to strengthen the squad in various positions. David Raya's loan from Brentford has now become a permanent deal, and they also welcomed Ricardo Calafiori, Neto, Raheem Sterling, and Mikel Merino to the team. With these signings, Arsenal is gearing up to compete for the Premier League title again, and Arteta's new additions will definitely play a significant role. That said, there's still more work to do. While Arteta made solid improvements in the wide areas, midfield, defense, and even the goalkeeper position this summer, fans were still holding out hope for a new forward to be signed. Arsenal is definitely a team to watch, but the Gunners still lack a dependable, traditional number 9 in their squad. On the bright side, Kai Havertz has stepped up as the goal-scoring presence North London needed, but Arteta Arteta's options at center forward are still pretty limited. In 2023, Arsenal was in the mix for Mohamed Kudus, but he ended up making a surprise move to West Ham from Ajax instead. The versatile attacker was snatched up by the Hammers and has really made a name for himself in the Premier League, which only makes him more attractive to the Gunners after their initial interest. Now, Edu has a golden opportunity to bring the former Eredivisie star back into the fold, as The Athletic has dropped some updates on his transfer situation. Apparently, Kudus' £85 million release clause at West Ham will kick in at the end of the 2024-25 season, and he's even switched agents to be represented by his family members. It sounds like there could be a reason for the 24-year-old to consider leaving the Hammers soon, especially after his clash with manager Julen Lopetegui due to West Ham's rough start to the season. Kudus would be perfect for Mikel Arteta's project. Sure, the West Ham star wouldn't be the out-and-out striker that Arsenal fans crave so dearly, but he would be a goal-scoring presence that could be of great use to Arteta. The beauty of the Arsenal squad is that the goals are shared around, with players in a range of positions chipping in throughout the campaign. If Arteta is against signing an identifiable center forward but wants to bolster the attack, he may not need to look further than Kudus, who will be available for a fair price of £85 million. Having played the number 10 role on the flanks and as the number 9 over his career, the Ghana international could be another player in Arsenal's ranks who provides peak versatility, something that Arteta clearly values. Only time will tell if Edu decides to explore the possibilities of signing Kudus in the summer, with the opportunity there if the asking price can be met. Arsenal fans all saying the same thing about what Benjamin Sesko has done. Edu sent clear message. Arsenal were seriously eyeing a move for Benjamin Sesko during the summer transfer window of 2024. Ever since Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang left the club, the Gunners have been on the hunt for a prolific striker. Mikel Arteta and Edu Gaspar have been working hard to find a new number 9, but things haven't really gone their way. Sesko emerged as a prime target after his standout performance in the 2023-24 season at RB Leipzig. Making a move for the Slovenia international seemed like a no-brainer. Despite Arsenal's efforts to sign him this summer, Sesko turned them down, opting to extend his contract and remain at Leipzig. So far, that decision looks like a smart one for him. He's netted 6 goals and dished out 3 assists in just 7 games across all competitions this season. 2 of those goals came in a Champions League match against Juventus on Wednesday night, where Sesko put in an outstanding performance against the Old Lady. Arsenal fans make Benjamin Sesko demand after his Champions League heroics. Arsenal have Kai Havertz and Gabriel Jesus up top at the moment, while Leandro Trossard can also play there. The 3 players, on their day, can win games on their own for the Gunners. However, none of Havertz, Jesus and Trossard are particularly prolific, which is why Arsenal fans are all urging Arteta and Edu to sign Sesko in 2025. Many even feel Arsenal should sell Jesus to make space for Sesko. One Arsenal fan tweeted, "If Sesko is not an Arsenal player by the end of summer 2025, I will be bitterly disappointed." Another said Arsenal really have to keep trying for Sesko in the next markets. Another Gooner said sell Jesus and give Pound 200k of his Pound 260k wages to Sesko. I've seen enough. The other Pound 60k can go to Saliba. Sesko isn't the only striker Arsenal has been linked to. There are a few others on their radar too. Despite scoring a brace on Wednesday night, the RB Leipzig star found himself on the losing end. That's because another Juventus striker, Dusan Vlahovic, also scored twice. Vlahovic is back on Arsenal's wish list after the Gunners missed out on him when he moved from Fiorentina to Juventus in January 2022. The Serbian was fantastic for the Old Lady against Leipzig, really catching our attention. It could very well come down to either Sesko or Vlahovic for Arsenal in 2025 if they decide to bring in a new striker. If it were up to us, we'd definitely go with Sesko. Well folks, those were the main news for today. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated on everything happening with our beloved team, you know what to do. Subscribe to the channel now and hit the bell icon so you don't miss any updates. Thanks for joining us, and until the next video.